The key with this section here with the cost management is to understand where the majority of the cost is. And that becomes probably the most important step. A lot of times people have multiple subscriptions, multiple resource groups, multiple Azure plans, and they just know that their Azure bill keeps growing and they don't understand why. Common reasons for bills growing is that not all resources in Azure are the same cost. There are some things that are much more expensive, and so if you leave them running, they will drive your bill up. And so, for example, I can store a terabyte of data in one of the low-cost storage methods in Azure for dollars a month indefinitely. And the price never changes. It's just a flat fee. Technically, Azure bills by the minute. I think we get billing reporting by the hour, but that has a set cost for that much data in a storage blob account, in archive storage per hour. And that's not going to change over time. You can store that data there and it's a consistent cost. It will change based on the number of days in a month. It'll cost you less in February than it does in November, but it's a pretty static cost. Where costs can start to balloon on you is especially larger VMs. You want to build out a really big VM in Azure, want to run it, 16 core, 120 gigs of RAM, virtual machine. Those costs can be large. We're talking, a couple dollars an hour, dozens of dollars an hour, depending on the size of it as a video card. And you can spend thousands of dollars a month on a VM. Well, if you spin up a couple of VMs and don't realize it, and the next month your bill was a couple grand higher, that's why some of those VMs are expensive. There are other things that often cause some Azure costs to grow on you. And a common one is you're running something that's collecting logs, something like Microsoft Sentinel. Microsoft Sentinel is Microsoft's security automation and SIEM and SOC tool. Really powerful tool, does some great stuff. But one of the things you can do is you can wire in all these services to send it log data. And the more log data you give to Sentinel, the more cool things it can do. And it can look for patterns and threat actors and breaches and all these things that it can give your security team data on. But the default place it lands in is a log analytics workspace. And that is expensive storage in the Azure world. And so if you're just pumping in logs from every firewall and every endpoint and every server and every event log and all these things, and you're not doing any sort of filtering or cleanup or storing historical logs in a different solution, or maybe tiering your storage, there's a number of ways we can address it. Azure Sentinel can quickly be something where you're paying $2,000 a month for it 1 month, and 6 months later it's $10,000 a month because you have all these logs you're storing, and those all bill. Every gigabyte of logs bills you by the hour for the storage of it. So it can get away from you